This program is brought to you by newscliptv.com. Make your own news. Register online and become a Newsclip TV reporter. Newsclip TV, your community news website.
Welcome back to Persistence Pays TV. On today's show, I'm having a guest come back. We have Jody Steinhauer. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is her expertise in branding. Branding at a bargain. So how many of you would like to know how to brand yourself so that you get more exposure for your business? So thanks for joining us today, Jody, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say about branding and how you can do it at a bargain. But before we go there, I know you started your business with $1,000 and now have a multi-million-dollar company. So how did you go about doing that?
Well, our business is bargains, and we started it with under $1,000 on our dining room table 24 years ago. And the biggest bargain we all have is our reputation. And I was very fortunate that I had a reputation in the clothing business at the time for being a very loyal, honest, and persistent, hardworking woman. Therefore, I had the support of a whole industry who shipped me lots and lots of product and didn't ask me to pay for it until I got paid.
Wow,
and
that's
it
great.
was, called self-financing, but I didn't have to go to the bank and didn't have to pay charges and all of that because of, the biggest bargain we all have, and we can grow, which is our reputation. And that's really started there.
Now, when you say starting from the kitchen table, there's lots of businesses out there that start from the kitchen table, and they're not sure when you're starting a business, starting a small business, how do you brand yourself? So can you talk a little bit about the importance of branding?
Well, back when I had that $1,000, one of the things that I realized is I wanted to treat people the way I like to be treated, and I liked presents. So anytime I went to visit a client, and it was probably 4 or 5 a day, I always had something in my purse to give away because everybody loves a freebie. And I tried to always have something a little different every time. So, the easiest thing we can all do is, a simple pen. But I always have a handful of pens in my purse because it doesn't matter where you are. Yeah. Even today, someone always says, does anyone have a pen? And they hang on to it.
Yeah.
So it could have been something with my brand or something without my brand, but it was something that when somebody used it after I left, they remembered that they got it from me.
And branding is about remembering.
It's all about remembering, frequency, and really being top of mind when somebody needs something.
And being, so that the relationship can continue.
Yeah, absolutely. But one of the biggest challenges, especially now, fast forward, is we're all so busy.
Yeah.
And, we've all had the experience where, we need to call somebody to do a home repair, and you're thinking of the person that you used 3 years ago, and you can't remember their name, and they never left you a fridge magnet or a pen or anything, and they haven't contacted you. So what do? You open up your mailbox one day, and there's one of those value packs, and you call the next guy in there because you know what? You couldn't remember, and you didn't have that frequency, or you didn't have that touch of something. But all it would have taken was for me to have a pen or some neat little thing that didn't have to cost a lot of money for me to remember to call that person back.
And I think a lot of times people think it costs a lot of money for branding, and it costs a lot of money for those things that you're going to give away. So, you talk about branding at a bargain. So tell us about how you can actually get branding for a bargain.
Well, I think keeping your name out there is a big thing. So, for example, everybody you meet in your life, it doesn't matter if, you're in the corner buying a coffee and you say hello to somebody and, hey, what do you do? And, oh, I like your hat. Is that where you work? Or, starting up just conversation is branding.
Yeah.
Smiling at people and treating them kindly is branding.
Yeah.
Everything that you do and the way you dress, the way you appear, whether you're picking your kids up from school or you're going to church, it really doesn't make a difference. You are your best brochure.
That's for sure.
And people really take that for granted, and it doesn't cost anything. So, certain people say, don't leave the house without putting lipstick on, or, it all makes, it's your package, and you are your package. And again, for me, it's always, giving away something for free. I remember having a grandmother who always had candy in her purse. You know, and that was her brand.
Yeah,
her brand.
You
was
remember that, like as a child
and
in
I can
church.
tell you what kind it was. I can, you know, we
Yeah.
all have those memories of people. People remember me as this person who's always giving away something. And my favorite thing to give away in the last 6 months, I have to show you, and it's $1 and change, is a nail file. So, you know, we can put anyone's name on a nail file, and it's a substantial nail file.
Yeah.
And if I go to anywhere, I hand one of these out to men or to women,
Yeah.
and they all do this. Oh, I needed one.
Actually, I just broke my nail, so could I
There,
have that?
there you go. There you go. And what you'll end up doing with something like that is you're not going to jump up and down because I gave you something worth $100, but
Yeah.
you're going to put it in your purse.
You're going to put it in your purse, and
It's going to be in your
take it
purse
out.
6 months when you clean it out.
Yeah.
And you're always going to have that subliminal message of, oh, I remember her. She was so nice.
Yeah.
And you know, we talked about that. So it's that kind of top of mind, not even recognizing it. And you know, you can put something like this if you're a small business in somebody's. You can mail a little, an old-fashioned thing called a letter.
Yes, imagine that, or
With
a
a
thank
little
you card.
note, and to
Yeah,
say,
just stick it
"Hey,
in.
was thinking of you. Thought I'd like to send you this."
Yeah.
You can put it in with an invoice, or you know, an overdue notice of, "You owe me money. Would you mind paying me? And by the way, a little something for you."
Yes.
And it costs $1 and change.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. I have a warehouse full of anything I want, and I can put my logo on anything. And the 5 items that I do in my company, there is not anything over $3 that I put my logo on.
Wow.
You know.
So you can really brand yourself at a really good cost, and it's just really, and you get all your products for a reduced rate too. So you pass that on to the consumer.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's opportunities. So you know, we all are in communities where there's auctions going on and trying to raise money for not-for-profits. So, for example, I go crazy when I go to an auction and I see 3 restaurants have given a gift certificate, and it's an envelope.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to see it? You have 500 people walking through the place.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you get a T-shirt, right? And here's a perfect example right now. Here's a T-shirt. You put your logo on it, okay?
Yeah.
Our logo is Smart Buyers Start Here. So we put Smarties because everybody likes food. Smarties. We put a pen. And this one's not packaged beautifully, but if it was an auction and it had, you know, Herb's Steakhouse like this, they're going to see it. And the gift certificate in front of it, they're going to see it. The T-shirt costs under $3.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful T-shirt. So the value to you of having a billboard of 500 people walking by something they can actually see.
Yeah.
You know,
Instead of a gift certificate, I'm really huge on visual too. So
Visual,
the cello and the
absolutely.
ribbon, it goes a long way.
Absolutely.
And
And-
people will notice it, and they'll want if it's a silent auction, they'll want to bid on it. And
it
if
looks-
not, it's even when they win it as a door prize, you're walking out with a branded
and if
product.
they don't win it, 500 people actually saw
Saw
it,
it.
as opposed to something being stuffed in an envelope.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunities where you can constantly get your name out there. You can ask for, especially with the web world now, you can ask for, you know, if I donate this, could you put a link to my website?
Right.
You know, you have to know where
Be
you
creative.
can ask, be creative.
Yeah.
You know, things for your children's school or your church, your club. You know, everywhere around you. Partner with, you know, a local business.
Yeah.
With whatever you do, and see if you can run a contest. You know, give something away for free. You can't be afraid of giving, you know, something of value. That's the rule of thumb is, as long as you're going to make a lot more money than it costs you, then you got to do it.
Yeah, I've always said, as being an entrepreneur and starting my own business, that you have to spend money in order to make money. And by giving things away for free, I have given so much away for free over the last, 25 years, but that free comes back to give you more reward than you can imagine.
And a lot of times it's just your knowledge and your expertise. I mean, people pay a lot of marketing companies and strategic companies a lot of money for ideas.
Yeah.
When we want to do something, we ask people 4 or 5 questions, and we give all of that for free.
And you come up with the idea.
Because we're creative, but every business person is smart.
Yeah.
And you got to give your knowledge away for free, because then you bond that relationship, and that's your brand. Somebody knows that they can trust you and they can ask you for advice. They're not expecting to pay for the advice or their opinion. They're expecting to pay for the product. So if
Right.
you can throw them your expertise, and it may even change what they buy, and that's okay. That's your brand.
Yeah, and you add a lot of value to
Huge
your
value.
service.
It's all about high perceived value these days, right? And
Yes, absolutely.
People, I always say, whatever you do, you've just got to wow people. That's really what it's all about. It doesn't matter if it's a product or a service. If you're always going to wow people, you're going to get 2 to 3 more than you just wowed back.
So in closing, if you could give the audience one tip, one branding tip, or a tip on why you should be branding, and can you give us kind of a tip that you would recommend?
Well, I would say wake up every day and ask yourself, what am I going to give away today for free that's going to add value to my bottom line?
That's a great statement. Well, thank you so much for being here again and taking the time to come back in and have a talk to us about branding. So remember, you are your brand, and your brand is worth something. So be sure to give something away today for free.
And another tip, if you want ideas for free, I have over 10,000 of them on our website. So go to www.bargainsgroup.com and get a great bunch of free ideas there on how to brand at a bargain.
That's great. Thanks for joining, and if you know anybody that would like to be on the show, visit my website at persistencepays.ca. Have a great day.